What is up, fishing addicts? On today's video we will be talking about the best kayak fish finder, and here's how we're gonna break it down. Price wise, wow, that affordability, easy to use and easy installation. Well, let's start with price point. There is actually a bunch of fish finders which are pretty budget friendly. I mean, pretty much all the top brands. Even now, I see some overseas brands are entering the market, which most of the time are just knockoff, uh, knockoff brands of the major three brands that are very popular with the fishing community, such as Humminbird, Lowrance, and Garmin. I have used all three brands. I did not own all three brands, but actually four brands now. Raymarine is also becoming very big on the field. I did use I did use all of them, all four brands, and I did own two of them personally, and I came this much closer to owning the third brand. But however, after using it as a co-angler and on a boat, I really got disencouraged. So the very first brand that I started out with was, I believe this is the gateway drug for most of us. I own a Striker 4. It's not the Pro Edition, but it did have chirp inside and also does have flasher. So you can take it off easily from your kayak and put it on just any cart. I was using a little cart, not a cart, but just a toolbox that I picked up from Walmart for, I believe it was $9.99 or something like that, where I can put the battery inside and use it. And I believe I use a Scotty mount, Scotty transducer mount. This fish finder, it does have everything that you need, especially if you're fishing. If you're not fishing that much, even if you're fishing a lot, it all depends where you're fishing. If you're fishing small ponds or small rivers or whatnot, it is pretty cool to have this. After I sold it, I regretted it every day that I sold it. It does not come with the cover. However, the new models do come with cover. When I bought this 2 years ago, it did not come, so I had to pay out of pocket for a cover, extra $30, I believe. It does have chirp future. And how does it compare to Hook 4? Price wise, I believe it's half the cost or almost half the cost. This one, I paid for it, I believe, $119 or $109. The Hook 4 at the time was, I believe, $198, and I believe did not came with the transducer. I might be wrong. Or for the most part, this was the cheapest and better for the 4-inch displays. This one actually has a 3.5 inch, and the way all these fish finders are measured is it's from here to here. So this is 3.5 inches. Just to clarify that, whatever fish finder you get, all of them are measured the same way. It does not measure this or this. It just goes from here to here. So that's 3.5 inches. So it is a very small fish finder, but however, if you have a sit-in kayak, I strongly recommend this. And after I had the Garmin Striker 4 for some time, and I was more into exploring new bodies of water, and I want to compete in the kayak league. Kayak fishing is getting more popular and popular. So fishing new bodies of water, I was really into getting side and down imaging. So I talked to a couple of people. They were already competing professionally and on the league, and a lot of them recommended the dragonfly from Raymarine. I got the most expensive one. Well, from the 4 series, I got the Dragonfly 4 Pro Sonar GPS. I believe this one cost me almost $500. It was $470 something, and it was brand new. This was the very first time or close to it when they came out with the Pro, so it was very expensive. I thought it had side imaging and maps built in. However, that was not the case. Between user friendliness between these two, Garmin is the most user friendly GPS that you ever buy. The settings adjustment was very it was a little bit difficult. I'm not gonna say very confusing, but it was very difficult. I could almost never get the maps figured out, and by the time I figured out the maps, I was so frustrated with the fish finder, and I was disappointed in so many ways that I couldn't even look at it anymore. It was just big backstab to me. Long story short, for a kayak, I would say I would give it a 3 stars out of 5. Not the most user friendly, however, it does come with a bunch of features. Very difficult to use, and the display 4.3 inches. It does have a good display. Like I said, it took me a very long time to adjust the settings and all that, and it wasn't just for me. It did not work out because in order for you to get a good reading, you always had to be moving over 1.5 miles, and this really bothered me. With my Garmin, I could have been moving almost 0.2 miles per hour, and I'll still get a reading. But with this is a great GPS and fish finder if you're trolling. I have friends that they troll in Fox River and in Illinois River for walleyes, and especially the guys in Wisconsin that go to Lake Geneva and troll for walleyes over there. They love it. It does have great reading when you're in pretty much on 3 miles or so. Others GPSs do have the same reading, but for the I grade this one as the same level as a Hook 4 and Garmin Striker 4. It is way overpriced. I mean, for this price, you can get so many more and much better GPSs, if you ask me, as a fish finder. And I like I said, I'm not that big of a fan for Raymarine, and unfortunately, all the people that messaged me over Facebook, most of them were affiliated with Raymarine. I found out about it later on after I started asking questions, and they were all giving me basically the same answer. And that's when I very much got disencouraged with pro staffing and sponsorships, and that's why I quit all my pro staffs and all that. But that's for another video. Before we get over 15 minutes, let's touch in to the best one that you can get. Well, one of the best ones. Let's leave it at that. Garmin ecomap series plus. This is the 7.4SV. SV stands for side view. This one has all three: 2D sonar, down imaging, and side imaging. Garmin calls it down view and side view. I don't think on a kayak, even if you're in a big PA14 or whatever the biggest kayak is out there, unless you are on one of those blue sky kayaks from Jackson, or I forgot what was the other one's name, but either way, you do not need bigger than a 7-inch. Even for a 7-inch is the perfect size, let's put it this way. For most kayaks, you can go with 9. Like if you have a PA14, it's a huge kayak, or a big rig from Jackson. But anything over 9 inches, it's absolutely unnecessary for a kayak. 7 inches was the best size for me. However, I did not do my homework, which I regret it. But the new fish finders, the new Garmin 7 series and up, I believe all of them come standard with the HD transducer. This one did not come with the HD transducer, so the side imaging is not crisp clear. However, it's still pretty good, but it's not as good as other fish finders that come with HD transducers. So for the same price, from that series transducers, fish finders, Garmin is the cheapest. I believe Lowrance with the HD transducer, it's about almost $2,000, and same thing with the Humminbird. Humminbirds are a little bit harder to use, if you ask me. They have too many adjustments, and you constantly need to adjust them for whatever you're doing. I found Garmin, like I said, to be the easiest to use. As for kayaks, keep in mind, this one comes with about huge and, well, not huge, but long transducer. It's the same size as the length of the transducer is same as the box length. So the smallest transducer is from Garmin Striker 4. It is pretty friendly, and you can stick it everywhere. And once you get into side imaging and down imaging, you have to have the transducer in the water. You cannot put it in hull. Then you don't have good readings or no readings at all. That regardless or which brand you're using, it will not work as good as in the water. All 4 brands. Strongly suggest, if you are in a tight budget, you can go wrong with Striker series. Even the new ones, the Striker series are half the price of echomap. They're not touchscreen, but you still have all the features that you need. I would go with Striker 7. I believe the Striker 7s are $399 or $499 with the transducers included and pretty much everything. If you are into, let's say you're a cat fisherman, or you troll for walleyes, and I don't know why people would spend $2,000, $3,000 on a fish finder that has Netflix and Hulu on them. If I'm fishing, if I'm gonna have to watch Netflix and Hulu, I'll just get a tablet. It's a lot cheaper. A tablet is probably like a couple $100 instead of paying $4,000 or $3,000 for a fish finder that has Hulu and whatever. I believe all 2 of the brands, like Lowrance comes with that, and also Humminbird, I believe, does come with it on the HDS series or whatever, the one of their high-end series. New Garmin's, I forgot which model does come with it, but it's very expensive. It's almost a little bit more expensive than Lowrance at that point. But if you want a nice, crisp, clear image and you have the budget up to $1,000, guys, I would suggest Garmin. With the HD transducer, like I said, the new ones come with the HD transducer, and I found that Garmin is a lot easier to use. They have a great support service and great community. Especially you can share your maps, you can make your own maps, and also I forgot to tell you guys that all Garmin units do come with their cover already. They come with the cover, which I don't have a picture of it. Regardless, I'll post videos of all 3 fish finders that I had, and like I said, I've used all 4 of them, and the cheapest and most user-friendly one was Garmin. Of course, everybody has opinions. Let me know which one you think it's the best fish finder and why. And also, Garmin does come with maps pre-installed already. So that's a big plus. And also the future that also you can make your own maps. It's great, especially if you fish like me, ponds, quarries that they're not in the maps, in Navionics or whatnot. You can make your own, and if somebody else made it and you go to Active Captain, you can download it. All the maps in Active Captain community maps are free, as long as people share them. They're no cost to you, and I truly believe Garmin series for startup, it's the cheapest and best fish finder. Let me know what you guys think on this subject. Which one do you think is the best fish finder? And if you enjoy these videos, guys, hit that subscribe button, and I'll be sharing more of my experiences, what I learned from fishing and fishing products. And that's it, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one.